Happy holidays, HK. I'm Fisher Harris.
And I'm Henry Sodergren.
And welcome to Top 10 Holiday Movies.
All right, and let's get right into it with our number 10 spot, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life was released in 1946, directed by Frank Capra and starring James Stewart and Donna Reed. The film focuses on a businessman, George Bailey, who is put into despair after hitting rock bottom. Now, because George is in this big pit of despair, he convinces himself that his family doesn't need him during the holiday season, which brings an angel named Clarence to come to him and convince him why life is worth living. And at number 9,
Gremlins. Gremlins is a 1984 black comedy starring Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, and Howie Mandel. It centers on a young boy, Billy, who gets the gift of a mogwai, or a gremlin, for Christmas from his father, with the stern directions of not exposing it to bright light, giving it water, or feeding it after midnight. Now, obviously, Billy, being a young boy, does exactly that, and things go awry when the gremlin begins to multiply, and the gremlins begin to take over and destroy his hometown. Eventually, Billy saves the town and also saves Christmas. And while this film is actually kind of scary and also pretty funny, it's a really enjoyable Christmas movie, and it's something I grew up with in my childhood, and I'd really recommend it. And at number 8,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was directed by Larry Romner and stars Billy May Richard. This film, as many of you know, follows Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, who has been outcasted due to his red nose by his reindeer buddies. Now, throughout the movie, he meets Herm, an elf that wants to be a dentist, and Yukon Cornelius, the prospector. Throughout the film, these three buddies' bonds grow stronger and stronger as they venture throughout the North Pole, and spoiler alert, at the end, Rudolph ends up getting accepted into his group of reindeer friends after his red nose helps all of them out on a very foggy Christmas Eve. And at number 7,
Elf. Elf is a 2003 film directed by Jon Favreau, who has also directed Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and The Mandalorian. This movie stars Will Ferrell as Buddy, a man raised in the North Pole as an elf, who returns to New York City for Christmas to meet his real father, an unethical businessman. After a DNA test proves their relationship, they begin learning what it means to be a family and the true meaning of Christmas. This movie is honestly really funny, it's enjoyable, it's lighthearted. Will Ferrell is at his best, firing at all cylinders. It has good actors, an enjoyable story, and it's something that's really like a fun family Christmas film, and it's just really great and one that I think you guys will all enjoy. And at number 6,
A Charlie Brown Christmas. A Charlie Brown Christmas focuses on the character Charlie Brown and his journey to find a deeper meaning to Christmas after just complaining about the materialism that surrounds everybody he knows and loves during the holiday. Now, this is a really great movie, even though it's not technically a movie, and it's really well acted, very well written. It's very, very, very funny, like all other Peanut specials, and it's a great movie that if you haven't watched already, you definitely should. And at number 5,
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story, which was released in 1983 and directed by Bob Clark, focuses on the character Ralphie, who is played by Peter Billingsley. Now, the story is about Ralph's family and his encounters with the school bully, and most importantly, his aspirations to get the Red Ryder BB gun he's always wanted. Now, this is a really great family movie. I've seen it a million times. I'm guessing you have too. It's really famous and it's really amazing. And if you haven't seen it already, then you definitely should. And at number 4,
Die Hard. This 1988 action film stars Bruce Willis as New York City policeman John McClane. The story centers around McClane arriving just in time for Christmas Eve in LA to meet up with his estranged wife and 2 daughters. Things take a turn when he goes to pick up his wife from her company Christmas party at Nakatomi Plaza as the building is taken over by German terrorists led by the inflappable Alan Rickson, who you would know as Snape from the Harry Potter series. The action is taut and dynamic as McClane fights to save their lives, and just everything is well done, from the shots to John and the acting. It all comes together great in this film that's really an exciting thriller and a good holiday Christmas film that really shows the meaning of Christmas and the relationships that we have with family and how important that is to Christmas. And at number 3,
Home Alone. Being released in 1990, Home Alone focuses on the character Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, when he was left home alone at his house after his family left for Paris for a Christmas vacation. Now, throughout the movie, 2 robbers try to enter his house, and to evade this, he sets up a very series of comical traps. Now, this is a very funny movie. I love it. It's very great. If you haven't seen it, then you should definitely see it, and I highly recommend it. And at number 2,
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This 1989 Christmas comedy stars Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo as they work to bring their dysfunctional family together and show them the true meaning of Christmas. It's hilarious, it's heartfelt, and it really has a lot of scenes and moments that I think everybody can connect to, from dysfunctional family arguments at holiday dinners to trying to get a tree and issues with that. Overall, it's a hilarious film, and it really works to show the true meaning of Christmas, but in a realistic and less expository way. So overall, this is a Christmas film that I would recommend to anybody who has a sense of humor and wants to have a few laughs. And at number 1,
The Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas, directed by Henry Selick and written by Tim Burton, focuses on the character Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town. Now, Jack is very, very bored with the monotony of doing Halloween every year and wants to do something different. This brings him to figuring out what Christmas Town is, and he tries to get the different bats, ghouls, and goblins of Halloween Town all to congregate together and try to do Christmas instead of Halloween. But alas, they can't get it quite right. Now, A Nightmare Before Christmas was a very easy number 1 pick for me. It's a very great movie. It's very well directed. It's very well animated. It's very well written. And the musical numbers in it are amazing. And I have to recommend this to anyone. Even if you've seen it, you should definitely watch it again.
Wow, those were some great holiday movies. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Once again, I've been Fisher, and this has been my amazing partner, Henry.
And coming from everyone from HKTV, we'd like to wish you a happy holidays.